I feel like this isn't doing it justice. Hey guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. I'm so excited for this video because we're talking new eyeshadow. And we're talking two new eyeshadow palettes from Jason Wu Beauty. And when I saw them, they're first of all, packaging stunning. But when I saw them, I was like immediately put in my cart. They're so stunning. And we're going to do a full eye look with them. I'm going to walk you through. We're going to do swatches, all that good stuff. I would love to know down below, have you tried Jason Wu Beauty, their eyeshadows? They have a bunch of different palettes with a bunch of different colors. These ones are kind of one of their bigger palettes, but I would love to know down below, have you used them? If you have, what are your thoughts? And yeah, I just want to jump into the video and get started. So if you're excited for this video and more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this new Jason Wu Beauty eyeshadow palette video. New Jason Wu Beauty eyeshadow palettes. Let's get into them. I'm excited. The outside of both these palettes are just, they're stunning. Look at this. You see? Glittering Dream. Are you kidding? And then we have this one here. Look at the fun pearls. Oh my goodness. Look. I'm obsessed with both of these. Look. They're so pretty. I love this. This is like genius, in my opinion, to have them be really fun. So let's go through the palettes. We're going to do swatches, and then we're going to do a makeup look with the eyeshadow palettes. And then I'm going to kind of compare and contrast against other palettes I have in my collection that I feel like people might have questions about. I'm not 100% sure people will have questions, but this would just be my guess. So let's get into it. So this one here is the Diamond Darling palette, and this one, look how pretty. Look at that. They're so pretty. So you get some mattes and then some different glitters, shimmers, and they are so beautiful. What do you guys think? And then we have this one, Pearl Darling. First of all, the names. I'm obsessed. This one is the one where I was like, oh, I need it now. I love you. Look at all of these, perfect. These are all matte. I feel like this palette would work for so many people. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do swatches for you. I'm going to take my watch off. That would be helpful. I'm going to do swatches for you guys by row. So this is the Pearl Darling palette, and this is all mattes, and they're cool tones, neutral tones, and also warm tones in here. I feel like this is such a good all-rounder palette. So I'm going to do swatches of each row and then show you each row just so that you can kind of see. So we're going to start here and then we're going to work our way down. That way you can see individually how everything kind of stacks up with each other. So first we're going to do the first row, which is the warm tones. All right, so this is the first line in that palette. What do you guys think of the shades? They're nice and buttery. So a reminder, it's this row here. Now I'm going to do a swatch of the second row for you. And that's the second row. These are the more neutral tones. And as a reminder, it is this row here in the palette. And now I'm going to swatch this one for you guys. And this is that last row, which is kind of the cool tones. What do you guys think of these? And just as a reminder, it is this row here. So that is the All Mattes palette. I really like it. They're so buttery. They blend like a dream. I feel like the quality of these shadows has really kind of changed the game, in my opinion, for the actual quality of more affordable brand eyeshadows. Now, again, this isn't, you know, a $12 palette, even though they do have $13 palettes and stuff like that. Jason Wu Beauty does. But it is so, so nice. The one thing I will say, if you are someone who needs a black in their palette, or you really want a black in the palette, this doesn't come with a black. They have kind of some darker colors here right on this side and darker colors here, but there is no black. So if that's something that you can't live without, this probably isn't for you. However, I love this palette. And then next we're going to swatch this one, which again is a mix of mattes with glitters, shimmers, metallics, and all that good stuff. So we're going to go row by row. So I'm going to start here and then we're going to work our way down. I love these palettes. They're so pretty. So the first row is kind of all kind of shimmers, metallics, all that. All right, these are the first row. I feel like this isn't doing it justice. So I'm going to actually take a picture of them just so you can see, because they are so absolutely stunning. It's ridiculous. So beautiful, so buttery. They applied to the lid beautifully. They are so gorgeous. I actually was very surprised with how the quality of the pigments, like the actual glitter shimmers, like they're just absolutely stunning. They're not, I don't know how to explain it. Sometimes, you know, when you get shimmers, they're almost like too chunky. They're not chunky. When you just swatch, they just swatch like a dream. It is so incredible. I am obsessed with them. And that row specifically is my favorite row from the palette. Now we're gonna move on to this row here. And I am so excited about these as well. I mean, I love both these palettes. I love them, and they're limited edition, so make sure you grab them if you're interested, because I don't know if they're going to come back in stock, which is why I wanted to get this video up after I tested and tried them out. But really big fan. So now we're going to move on to the second row. All right, that is the second row. I feel like the shimmers and glitters are not really showing how they should. So I'm going to take a picture of these as well. The only shimmer glitter that I really feel like you need to use maybe a glitter glue with is this one right here. It is a little bit more of that true glitter, but it is also a little bit grittier in a nice way where you really feel the glitter pieces, if that makes sense. So that's the only thing I would say about this row is just a glitter glue, or like put something down, because I feel like you really want it to stick. Now we're going to move on to this row here. It's just so beautiful. These palettes are absolutely stunning. I'm obsessed with both of them. If you want a more everyday palette, I would say that this is the one, definitely, just because it has a lot of mattes. But if you like really fun glitter and shimmer and mattes, these are amazing. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take the shimmers from this palette and make an eye look with the mattes in this palette. And I feel like that's going to be a fun way to incorporate all of them. And then I also have other palettes. There's one that I actually came to mind immediately when I saw this palette that I wanted to make sure I mentioned. So we're going to talk about that as well. The mattes in both the palettes are the same in terms of quality. They are so nice, so buttery, and they bend. Get a grip. They blend like a dream, which just is everything. First thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to dip into this neutral here. My fingers all over the mirror. Unacceptable. And I'm going to just add it to kind of the crease and also all over the lid. So we're just going to kind of use that as a base. And this shade, do you see how easy that blends? This palette so much. Out of the two palettes, the pearl one, the Pearl Darling, is definitely my most grabbed and used. Just look how pretty that shade is, and it just neutralizes how warm and my eyelid is, kind of, and my eyelid's a little bit darker than the rest of me, and so it's kind of like built-in eyeshadow, which is really nice, but it just does such a good job of neutralizing. The shade is so stunning. Again, it's this middle shade here. It's the shade 8. So pretty. And I'm going to do that on both sides. Then I'm going to take that exact same shade. I'm going to pull it on my lower lash line. Then I'm going to take this color here on the same eyeshadow brush because I'm lazy. I'm going to place it down. I actually think there is one matte that I'm going to use from the other palette that I feel like will be really nice. I'm going to just place it down. I'm not going to do too much actual blending with this brush, but I'm going to place it down on the eye and kind of just build up depth a little bit, like that. And then I'm going to blend it out with another brush. Then I'm going to take a fluffy brush, nothing on it, just a clean one, and go through the crease and just blend that all together. Then I'm going to grab this color here, this kind of like bone cream color. I'm really bad at describing colors. And I'm going to just dip into that and then kind of pull it here so that everything blends like really seamlessly. And then I'm thinking I want to take this shade here from the Diamond palette just to add, I really like this tone of brown, and just to add a little bit, just a bit on top of the darkness that we added already. I'm going to just add a touch of that. And I'm just going to blend it all kind of together with a brush. Camera cut out a little bit, so I'm not quite sure 100% made it in. We did not add shimmer yet. We went in with this shade here and then a little bit of this shade in the mattes palette, and then we also took a touch of this matte shade in this palette because it's really pretty, and we just kind of did a little bit of smoking on the outer edge and then just pulled a little bit on the lower lash line. I feel like the lower lash line part was captured, but just in case it wasn't. And before I go on with shimmer, I want to dip back into this shade here in this palette, this dark brown. And I want to add just a touch more smoke. I love that. That's perfect. Now what I want to do is I actually want to go with these two shades right here. I'm going to do a mix of these two shades here. So I'm just put them on my hand and I'm going to mix them together. And then I'm going to place them. It's just so stunning. And I'm not dipping in more. I'm just getting more of what's on my hand. These are very impactful shimmers, so you really don't need a lot. I do want to take a little bit of this shade here. It has a bit of a pink tinge to it, which is stunning. I'm going to just dip in with my finger and I'm going to take, this is a clean brush here, and I'm just going to take it and kind of blend everything together so there is no harsh kind of sudden line. I'm going to dip back into this shade here, this dark brown shade, lightly. I'm not going to take too much, maybe tap off a little bit. Now I'm feeling like I want to add a little bit of eyeliner and then layer on top with some eyeshadow. So I'm going to go on with the Tower 28 eyeliner or multi-liner in the shade Dreamy. Now I want to do a little bit of this on top of the eyeliner we just placed. So I'm going to dip in to that shade. Now I'm going to take this shade here and that be my inner corner shade. I'm going to take the eyeshadow on my pinky finger, put it on my hand so I don't have too much, and I'm going to highlight. Right, loving that. Now I want to go through everything that we used. So we used this color here. We used these two shades here. We also used these two shades here in this eyeshadow palette. And then we used these two top shimmers. We also used this brown shade and we used this bottom shimmer shade. So pretty. And I feel like this look came out really well. The darker shades we just kind of layered on top of each other and just blended it all together with a clean brush. And I'm really happy with how it's looking. And you have to let me know what you think. So now what I want to do is I want to go on with mascara, and then we're going to talk through the actual palettes a little bit more and talk about them compared to other palettes. I don't know why I'm having a hard time. So first I'm going to go on with the House Labs mascara. I'm going to do one coat of the House Labs mascara, one coat of the Jones Road Beauty mascara, and then we're going to talk more about the eyeshadow palettes and then talk about them comparably to other ones that I have in my collection. Makeup is done. What do you think of the makeup look? So on my lips, I have the shade 2 from Victoria Beckham Beauty in their lip liner. And on top of that, we have the True Botanicals, their lip treatment oil. I really, really like this combo. This color combo is just so nice. Now let's get into the eyeshadow palettes. So again, this is the Pearl Darling eyeshadow palette. This is definitely out of the two my most used and loved. I really love a neutral eyeshadow look. So this row here combined with this one, even a little bit of this one, even though I'm not as much of a cool tone gal for my eyes, they're just, so stunning and absolutely beautiful. All the mattes are really buttery and they blend really, really nicely. I don't find that with any of the shades I have any skipping when I blend. And they're pigmented enough that, like, you'll see when you swatch, if you do, swatch it. They're pigmented enough that you get pigment, but they're not so pigmented that you're like, it's just like a fluff city, right? Like you're just having so much kick up from the palette. You don't have that with this. This is a really nice kind of all around, no matter the kind of tone, eyeshadow palette. And then the shimmers in this eyeshadow palette are just everything. I am obsessed with them. This is definitely, this brown here is so nice to have in the palette. I really like mixing and matching the shimmers. This is the only one from the palette that I feel like you might want to use a glitter glue or something underneath it. The other ones, I don't feel like you need to do that. And I really enjoy both of these. These are both, I'm really happy I have both of these in my collection. What do you guys think of the palettes in general, having an all matte palette or having one with a little bit more shimmer? Let me know down below. Now let's talk about these compared to other eyeshadow palettes that I have in my collection. So the first one, it's going to be Jason Wu. So this is the Jason Wu Beauty eyeshadow palette Flora. This is the Flora Matte Agave eyeshadow palette, and I love this eyeshadow palette. This is so nice. It has so many beautiful shades, and I feel like this is a really good, if you want just a nice small travel eyeshadow palette that has everything you need in terms of mattes. This is a really nice palette. These eyeshadows blend like a dream. They're so, I mean, I love Jason Wu Beauty eyeshadow palette quality. They're just incredible. And this is so, so nice. And it's nice that it's small. I really enjoy blending all of these. I will say, I feel like the matte eyeshadows in these palettes are slightly, very slightly, but slightly better. At least in my opinion. But you'll have to let me know if you've tried all of these palettes, how you feel they kind of compare. But I really, really like them. I like Jason Wu Beauty like eyeshadow palettes in general. They're just so beautiful. And next up we have the Dreamy Dozen eyeshadow palette from Lawless, and I feel like there's so many kind of similarities in tones to both these palettes specifically. This one, the Dreamy Dozen, this one has shimmers in it, so you have glitters and shimmers. I did a full review, so if you want to see this kind of in action and my review of the shadows, you can go check out that video, because I talk about all the kind of specs. But these are so similar and they're just stunning. I love both these palettes. I will say the shimmers in this are a better quality in my opinion than in the Lawless Dreamy Dozen. The Diamond Darling I feel like these shimmers are just elite. They're just so stunning. And I want to say, for drugstore, this type of shimmer, glitter, metallic quality, I genuinely feel like is very rare to come by. Not impossible at the drugstore, but very rare to come by this type of quality. They're just so incredible. Do you find that the Kosas eyeshadows, I think they're nice quality. They aren't they are not as good quality, in my opinion, as the Jason Wu Beauty eyeshadows. So there's that. Then one that isn't necessarily considered clean, but the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes The Neutrals eyeshadow palette. I wanted to make sure to include this because I felt like when I looked at this palette and this one side by side, I felt like there were some nice similarities in there that people would like. So I wanted to be able to kind of show. I love a neutrals eyeshadow palette, you guys. I just do. Because on me, I feel like sometimes stuff looks way too orangey or warm, or I want to blend with a neutral, so I want to put a warm tone down and blend with a more neutral eyeshadow. So, which is why I love something like this. But these are the two side by side. If I could put them in, here we go. These are the two side by side. Both stunning. Both stunning. I love the quality of the Makeup by Mario eyeshadows. They are beautiful. They blend really nicely. And these really, in my opinion, blend just as good. They are just so stunning. I love a matte eyeshadow palette. You know what's funny? I used to never be a matte eyeshadow palette person, but now I am. You just need mattes. Mattes, you can make a casual look or something that's a little bit more zhuzhed up. And then I'm going to show you the Makeup by Mario palette compared to the Diamond Darling palette, just so that you can see them side by side. I know that they are not really comparable, but just so you can see. Love both these. And then lastly, I have this one here from Ilia that I feel like is very, it has like nice warms and all of that. So I wanted to hold it up side by side so you can kind of see, you do get some warm tones, and the shimmers in these and these to me are very similar. I would say that these kind of are a little bit more reflecty than the Ilia ones. However, they are both beautiful quality. And then let me show you compared to the all matte palette, just so you can see the kind of shade options that you have in comparison. So pretty. And I really genuinely believe that, I mean, these are limited edition, so if you are interested, definitely grab them before they're no, I don't know why brands do limited edition, because like, give me it forever kind of vibes, but I really, really like these palettes. I feel like they're totally worth the money, at least in my opinion. And yeah, that is it for my new Jason Wu Beauty eyeshadow review. I would love to know down below, are you interested in these? Do these intrigue you? Or are you kind of like, uninterested? Let me know down below. Also, are there other eyeshadow palettes that you would like me to review, try out? Let me know, because I love testing stuff out, and it does take a little bit. I don't just test something for a day, I test it for a while, so I want to make sure to be able to test it long enough to give you a review in a timely fashion. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.